Be ready, start. It is urged by him that the High Court has fallen into error by opining that there was no justification to exercise jurisdiction under Article 226 of the Constitution of India, whereas the facts stated warranted deletion of such an observation by the DRAT, as a tribunal has no jurisdiction to grant such liberty, and especially when a settlement between the borrower and auction purchaser had been arrived at. Learned counsel would submit that the DRAT had really not addressed to any issue, and after recording a settlement in a most brief manner, recorded the observations which really deserved to be questioned by the High Court. It is further convinced by the Council that the High Court should have taken note of the fact that the order passed by the DRAT had already been complied with, and it was absolutely unnecessary to drag the bank to a further litigation which is contrary to the spirit of act and the purpose of recovery of debts due to banks and financial institutions act 1993. It is also contended that the DRAT failed to take note of the prayer made by the appellant therein, and for no important reason the matter was kept pending for more than 4.5 years. The learned counsel appearing for the respondent number 1 contended that he had paid the dues of the bank within the time fixed by the DRAT, and therefore he had also transferred the property in favor of a third party due to financial difficulties. In essence, submission of learned counsel is that putting the clock back is likely to cause loss to him. The learned counsel appearing for the auction purchaser submitted that on the basis of the liberty he had already filed a suit in the Delhi High Court and is entitled to pursue the remedy because of action was taken in hot haste in by the bank in putting the property into auction without indicating that litigation was going on between the borrower and the bank. It is urged by him that he had the said fact was made known, the third respondent would not have participated in the auction. It is argued by him that his claim for damages cannot be nullified the decision of the High Court. Before we dwell upon the jurisdiction of the DRAT to give such a liberty to the auction purchaser, we think that it is absolutely imperative in the case at hand to take note of the fact that though the appeal was filed before the DRAT and admitted, yet the same was disposed of almost after 4.5 years. We are at pains to say that the DRAT has totally forgotten the obligation cast on it under the RDB Act and also has remained quite oblivious of the salient features and the main purpose of act. In this context, we may fruitfully refer to the objects and reasons of the act. The relevant part of it reads: the financial sector has been one of the key drivers in India's effort to achieve success in rapidly developing its economy. While the banking sector in India is progressively complying with international prudential norms and accounting practices, there are certain areas in which the banking and financial sector do not have a level playing field as compared to other participants in the financial market in the world. There is no legal provision for facilitating securitization of financial assets of banks and financial institutions. Further, unlike international banks, the banks and financial institutions in India do not have power to take possession of securities and sell them. Our existing legal framework relating to commercial transactions has not kept pace with the changing commercial practices and financial sector reforms. This has resulted in slow pace of recovery of defaulting loans and mounting levels of non-performing assets of banks and financial institutions. Narsimham Committee 1 and 2, constituted by the central government for the purpose of examining banking sector reforms, have considered the need for changes in the legal system in respects of these areas. In another case, referring to the statement of objects and reasons, this court dealt with the submission that existing rights of private parties under a contract cannot be interfered with, more particularly putting one party in an advantageous position over the other. In that context, the three judge bench observed, as discussed earlier as well, it may be observed that though the transaction may have the character of a private contract, yet, the question of great importance behind such transaction as a whole, having far-reaching effect on the economy of the country, cannot be ignored, purely restricting it to individual transactions, more particularly when financing is through banks and institutions utilizing the money for the people in general, namely the depositors in the banks and public money at the disposal of the financial institutions.